a race weekend is insane because you get 150, 200,000 people to overtake a small town.
Wow.
But that part of the Carolinas in the summer is typically really hot, as you know, kind of that coastal plain, the PD region. So for March, normally they love the March race because it's usually not crazy hot because they have a fall race too. This is going to be pretty toasty on Sunday. I think 90 down there is definitely doable with full sunshine. So we mentioned this yesterday. It is March. A lot of us haven't spent a lot of time outside, and a lot of folks at this racetrack are going to be spending a lot of time outside. Make sure you lather up on the sunscreen this weekend. There's going to be a lot of crazy tan and burn lines coming up this weekend down at Arlington.
Oh, I mean, and we love it. I mean, right? That's very NASCAR, the crazy tan lines and things. I will say people are probably going to be drinking things that are not so hydrating.
Yes.
Make sure you're also drinking things that are hydrating as well, because that's your number one defense against the heat is to stay hydrated.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I feel like the tricky time of year for dehydration and sunburn is always early in the warm season because it can be not as muggy in the summer. I think when it's humid, people think it's hot, so they just naturally drink and they put sunscreen on. But when it's kind of warm but not muggy, you kind of feel like, oh, the sun's not going to be too bad. And also, it doesn't feel so hot, so I don't drink as much water. So it's almost more important for sunscreen and hydration early in the year because the air is usually drier than what it is in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, and you can also get fried, on a day with clouds. People are always like, oh, I don't need to put sunscreen on. Oh, no, you can still get fried with the clouds in place. Those are probably some of the worst days of sunburn as well.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that 100%. So before we're almost out of time here. We only got like a minute left, Alex. What are you telling folks to prepare for this weekend as you get ready for what is going to be kind of a June-like feel here in the Carolinas?
Yeah, just really been telling people, not so much keep an umbrella. It's very isolated, rain chances. But, just get out there, put on the sunscreen, make sure you're staying hydrated, but enjoy the first weekend of spring. Spring arrived this morning, and so it's going to feel more like summer, but hey, get on out there and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, load up on the allergy medicine. We'll keep an eye on those storm risks down our way. I told people just, if you get a thunderstorm warning this weekend, just know that's probably going to have hail in it. The other thing I will tell everybody, it's warm, it's hot, it's going to be kind of summer-like. Really, I want you to kind of turn down that opportunity to plant the tender stuff because a lot of folks are going to want to do that, Alex. We're not quite out of the frost and freeze season yet. There's going to be one more night, I can tell you, at some point between now and April where we see a frost. So hold off just a little bit longer. All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Wait till tax day, right?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, stick around. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more news, but have a great weekend.
All right, folks, welcome here to WCNC Plus from 7 to 9. I'm your host, Colin Mayfield. We are going to start with the president speaking right before he is leaving for Florida. It sounds like he's discussing the Iran war, what may be troops on the ground and maybe not. But let's go to this right now.
Secretary of State out, and he is doing a fantastic job. So we have Marco. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I wanted to ask you, Iran executed 3 people this week.
Terrible.
You have vowed strong action in the past. What message would you send?
Well, we've been hitting them awfully hard. I mean, I don't know if you can possibly get hit harder, but these are thugs and animals and horrible people. But you can't hit anybody harder than we've hit them. But I'm not surprised. They executed 3 young people for protesting.
And do you plan to escort those ships through the Strait of Hormuz with or without allies?
We're doing very well there. We're doing very well overall. We don't use the strait. The United States, we don't need it. Europe needs it. Korea, Japan, China, a lot of other people. So they'll have to get involved a little bit on that one.
Do you still want South Korea support the United States?
Now, what about it?
Do you still want South Korea support?
Well, I love South Korea. We have a great relationship with South Korea. We're helping South Korea a lot.
Mr. President, do you think Israel will be ready to end the war when you're ready?
I think so.
Mr. President.
The relationship's a very good one. I think so.
Mr. President.
We want more or less similar things. You know what we want? We want victory, both of us, and that's what we've got.
Mr. President, what's your plan for Carg Island, Mr. President? What's your plan for Carg Island?
I may have a plan or I may not, but how would I ever say that to a reporter? If I said that to a reporter, Marco would say, please, sir, let's bring you over to the helicopter immediately, right? No, I can't tell you that.
Mr. President,
It's certainly a place that's people are talking about, but I can't say. Yeah.
Are you pulling out
How will
troops
the
there,
Operation
though?
Epic Fury affect talks with Russia on Ukraine?
What about it?
Are the talks on back burner right now because of
No, we're talking about it. I think it'll get done.
When do you expect the next round of talks to take place?
They take place almost every day. We're making a lot of progress.
Mr. President, you said that the war was militarily won in Iran. What did you mean by that? You said the war was militarily won in Iran. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I think we've won. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force. We've knocked out their anti-aircraft. We've knocked out everything. We're roaming free. From a military standpoint, all they're doing is clogging up the strait. But from a military standpoint, they're finished.
So how much longer should the American people expect this to go?
You said opening the Strait of Hormuz is a simple military maneuver.
Very simple.
Yeah, but what did you mean by that?
It's a simple military maneuver. It's relatively safe, but you need a lot of help in the sense of you need ships, you need volume. And NATO could help us, but they so far haven't had the courage to do so. And others could help us, but we don't use it. At a certain point, it'll open itself. At a certain point, but we've defeated the enemy, and they are an enemy. They're a sick group of people. The leadership is gone. The Navy is gone. The Air Force is gone. The anti-aircraft equipment that they have, the radar they have, is all gone. Everything's gone. The strait itself, the actual strait, how are you? The strait itself is, we're doing a good job, but it would be nice if the countries, including China, if the countries that use it, China uses it 90% of their energy. Japan is 95% of the energy. It would be nice if those countries would get involved. I thought she did a good job yesterday.
The American agents in Europe, Lindsey Graham has asked for you to reconsider the American bases in Spain, in Germany, after what they have done in the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, it deserves. She's right about asking that, and I think NATO's gone down a long way because they haven't. They should be helping with the strait. They get much of their energy from the Strait of Hormuz, and if Lindsey Graham said that, and don't forget, he was a big NATO guy for a while, and now he's not. And a a lot of senators and congressmen. They're very upset with the fact that NATO has done nothing. Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side. They don't have a Navy. They don't have an Air Force. They don't have any equipment. They don't have any spotters. They don't have anti-aircraft. They don't have radar. And their leaders have all been killed at every level. We're not looking to do that. I bet he was a great guy. Wow. Yeah, he was a great guy. He was a really good, tough cookie. He didn't want to fight him. He was a tough, great guy, and he was a great supporter. Wow. That's a good man. So,
No, it's not.
like nobody's read your book. But I said I have to go off of that path and I have to take a little journey. We have to get these, and he would agree, but he's not going to say it. This is not state practice state. What I'm doing you that time. But we had to go off on a circuitous path and take care of business, and we are in the process of doing it, and I'll tell you, I think we're weeks ahead of schedule. My Secretary of State is very happy. You have a question for Marco? Yes, how soon? I think I'm what are you guys hearing from your Senate colleagues about the babies of the state of America? Doing okay. Voter ID. Yeah, citizens to vote. And I'm hearing very good things. I mean, I was hearing negative things because the Democrats are all against voter ID. They're all against citizenship and vote. They're against transgender. They like the transgender thing. Utilization. All of the systems of the Four or five. I think they're all 95 to 99%. I hear it's going. Oh, we need Democrat votes. They don't want to approve voter ID because they cheat. They don't want to approve citizenship. Otherwise, you want to have citizenship in order to vote. You have to prove your citizenship. The Democrats don't want to do that. You know why? You know why? They're going to cheat, Peter. Now, something that's your question. Nothing like it. And they just started today one of the biggest wars in country ever been seen in Washington. When they're doing the construction, does it ever wake you up? When I get those piles back, my wife does it by parts over here on my leg. I love the sound of push. I love the sound of piles back. Because I got to get these giant.
All right, guys, that was the president there. Obviously, Secretary of State Marco Rubio standing by. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. As we know, Queen's University is going to be playing here in the next 30 minutes or so. We'll be watching that as well as being here on WCNC Plus. We'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, everyone. As we know that council members just left D.C. over the last couple of days, speaking on a number of things, including transit. Our Julie Kay sat down with Miss Arias and speaks more about that right now.
No, what was the purpose of this whole trip?
Well, the purpose of this trip was a convening of city council members and mayors across the country to go through an intensive conference process of learning about the federal landscape and, really learning how to advocate for our cities and our communities back home, to then cultivate into one day of going to the Hill and advocating to our Congress members and our senators about the necessary funding we need back home.
So for Charlotte specifically, what is the funding you guys are prioritizing most?
Most, we're prioritizing public safety and mobility, right? That is really crucial. As you know, North Carolina is still the only state in the country that has yet passed a budget for this year. It is embarrassing, and we've been in national headlines in the past few months, right? And a lot of it is because we don't have the necessary support from our state legislature, our funding levels to really, provide the wraparound services and public safety that our community needs. That being said, our chief of police, Chief Patterson, has done an excellent job to make sure that our communities are safe, that people are able to walk and drive safely on our streets. So we spoke to our representatives, Tim Moore, Alma Adams, Mark Harris, as well as Senator Tillis and Senator Budd, about really helping us back here in the city of Charlotte and securing funding for public safety to make streets safer in our communities.
I'm curious what the response was. Those are some, very different legislators you just mentioned that represent North Carolina. What was the response?
They were very open to it. They were excited, and they welcomed the opportunity to be our advocates in Congress on Capitol Hill to really secure this public safety funding. And they've seen the incredible work that our Chief Patterson has done, and they've been impressed with the progress we have taken so far.
Is there an element of, you mentioned the state budget, we're not getting money right now, an increase in money since some of the things have happened from the state, and so there may be more of a reliance on federal funds?
Right. There might be more reliance on our federal funding and also reliance on what we can do locally, right? Another big takeaway I had from this conference is that, we're not the only city that operates in a Dillon rule state where our state legislature really dictates and it gives authority to local governments. But yet those other cities are being more proactive and are negotiating more on behalf of their constituents to really push back on those state preemptive laws, which I think is something we should take as a lesson here in Charlotte, that, we have a good relationship with Raleigh, right? But us pushing back on some of their preemptive rules does not mean that we want to have an adversarial relationship with them, but we do make up 30% of this state's economy, and we should start leveraging it.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I know that the relationship with the state is a big conversation right now, especially with the I-77 pause. I know that's a big issue in itself, but one of the things that's been floated is, moving forward with this is how we're going to find out if we get more federal funds. So when you talk mobility, is I-77 a part of that conversation too at the federal level?
It was part of the conversation, but as you know, personally, as council member JD, and not speak on behalf of other colleagues on city council, I'm against that, right? We just asked voters, and they did. It was almost split, right, to pass a sales tax referendum that will fund public transportation options. And here we are thinking about expanding more highways or elevating highways up, right? It doesn't make sense to me. I think there's a living contradiction there, that if we are aiming to become a city with 10-minute neighborhoods, walkable neighborhoods, as well as a city that is less reliant on cars, why are we providing more options for more cars to be in our street, right? And so I think that is a contradiction. It was part of the conversation, and yet I think there is still a lot of conversations and discussions being had within this council on what can the city council do to pause the project, to not put the project. I mean, quite frankly, personally, and I'm not, I don't hide my opinions. We just should not do it, right? It's $650 million from the state, sure, right? But it is funneled through a P3, right? So it's a public-private partnership, and so there needs to be other actors. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, and I might be incorrect on this, but last time I read, those toll lanes, the revenues of those toll lanes will be going to the companies that are building them, right? They're not coming back to our local government. They're not coming back to communities. They're not coming back to improve the life and quality of living for people here in Charlotte. And what makes it even more concerning, they're going to foreign companies, right? They're not going to American companies. So we got to make sure that if we're going to do this, we got to do it right. We got to minimize the harm. And for me, just make no harm at all, right? We already saw the Mecklenburg County put out a report that it would impact a lot of our green spaces, a lot of our iconic parks here in the county.
In terms of, if you're able to share specific asks in terms of public safety, did you guys come with, we want to see X, Y, and Z from the federal government, or was it more of a general discussion about how they can support? Oh, did you just pull out the X, Y, and Z?
Yes.
You came prepared. Thank you.
We all had different requests, right? So, for example, with transportation, we had the ask of the competitive grants the city has applied to, right? So the Reconnecting Communities pilot program, which is $1 million, Safe Streets and Roads for All, which is $4.46 million, as well as Airport Terminal Program, $16 million, a Railroad Crossing Elimination Program, $3.7 million. So those are some. And for public safety, and I'm guessing you will cut some of these things out as I look through it.
Well, it's also just interesting for my knowledge too. I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on one second.
And are you able to share like the document with me afterwards?
I think so.
Okay, cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can forward you the thing. So when it comes to crime reduction, we're seeking further opportunities for collaboration with the delegation to reduce crime. The federal government has had several competitive grant programs to help local government achieve certain objectives over the past 5 years, and we will continue to advocate for this. CMPD has used resources from the Edward Byron Memorial Justice Assistance, DNA Backlog Reduction, National Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, and Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. And so that's for crime reduction. For mobility, we're asking, in 2026, this year, Congress will be acting upon a measure to reauthorize the Surface Transportation Program. This is the program that provides federal matches for local road and highway, multimodal, passenger rail, and safety projects. Some of those things that we've utilized as a city and we will continue to advocate for federal partners to advocate for is capital investments programs for large-scale public transportation projects, local and regional project assistance, Safe Streets and Roads for All program, Railroad Crossing Elimination Program, bus and bus facilities, low or no emission grant, urbanized formula, and state of good repair. Among all of those things, we've also talked about aviation. We talked about disaster recovery and preparedness, emergency management. Right now for emergency management, there is the Urban Security Area Initiative, WASI, and if you remember correctly, this past month, this council unanimously approved $3.4 million to use that grant, which will help our fire department and emergency preparedness, as well as potential threats of terrorism in our community. That being said, the program was created right after 9/11, and it really targeted DC, LA, Chicago, and New York City. And so right now, those cities are getting a lot of the money, which is great, right? They're big urban cities. They need that money, but we are the 14th largest city in the country, the third fastest growing city in the country. We also sit uniquely between two nuclear plants, right? And so this is a unique opportunity. What I was advocating for on the Hill is to increase that funding level for the city of Charlotte.
Where are the nuclear plants?
Oh, goodness.
This is a personal question because I didn't know that.
I don't even know.
Oh, my God.
I know there's one up north. near Lake Wiley. Is that up north or is that down south?
Lake Wiley South.
South, sorry, Lake Norman. One up there, and then there's one down south, I think, near Rock Hill.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, let me. Now I need nuclear plants in Charlotte.
Lake Norman and Lake Wiley.
Ah, see, I'm so smart. That's my partner who is a journalist and is looking it up.
Well, is there anything else that I haven't asked about regarding this trip that you think people should know?
I really do want the citizens of Charlotte to know that while we are a growing city, we've been growing at an exponential pace, but often we've been growing at the expense of community, right? We are a corporate welfare city. What I learned in talking to other colleagues who are council members in Dillon Rule states or are operating under very strict state preemptive laws is that they are taking much more proactive approaches to push back against that, to make sure that we are taking care of our own here in the city. And so I think while Charlotte is moving up and we are growing, we are light years behind in terms of how strong our local government is. And I keep saying this, I've said it on the dais, I've said it in the campaign, I've said it during committee meetings, we need to become a stronger local government. And for me, that was, if anything, the biggest takeaway is that we can do more. Whether the political will encourages there to do more is another question.
And if you're, like I said, if you're able to send that document, that would be fantastic. And then just while I have you, I'm curious, I'm going to be there Monday probably for the zoning meeting, but I know they're going to have that public hearing on 2040. Anything else you wanted to share about Monday? Is there anything important you're looking forward to then?
Well, Monday, we have the public meeting on 2040. We also are voting for the Bowplex adjustments and repairs for the HVAC systems and the study to see what else we need to do. That's going to be $25 million coming back to East Charlotte, coming back to a venue that is uniquely placed in Black and brown neighborhoods that will really rejuvenate that area and make sure that also our checkers players are able to play on safe ice, right? And so that's super exciting. The other thing for Monday is, and this is now personal off the record, just to let you know, there is a
All right, an interesting comment and discussion there between these two. Obviously, if you'd like to see more for Julie's reporting, head to WCNC.com. Going to take another 2-minute break. We'll be back at 7:30. All right, guys, we have the president again giving us a preview of the Salute to Heroes events. Let's go to this right now.
Please. I want to begin by just saying we're doing extremely well in Iraq. The difference between them and us is they had a Navy 2 weeks ago. They have no Navy anymore. It's all at the bottom of the sea. 58 ships knocked down in 2 days. And we have the greatest Navy anywhere in the world. It's not even close. So we are doing really well. We're not going to let them have nuclear weapons. Because if they had them, they'd use them, and we're not going to let that happen. It should have been done a long time ago by other presidents. So it's an honor to be here. This is fun. And these are great athletes standing behind me. Great coaches, general managers, great people, and a great superintendent. Hello, superintendent. We only put our finest as these superintendents for these great schools because we don't want to have somebody that they don't look up to. We take our best, and they're really amazing. For the second year in a row, it's my great honor to officially present the Commander-in-Chief's trophy to the one and only Navy midshipman football team with 11 wins and 2 losses, playing the best teams in football. I used to always think of the military services, they played like a little step below. They played the big teams and they beat them. These players achieved one of the most impressive seasons in Navy football history and any football history, frankly. And I just want to congratulate the midshipmen. I met them backstage and they're great. Thank you. Congratulations. When I mentioned the Navy that we just destroyed, I said, are they good ships? Yeah, they're great ships. And I said, why didn't we save them? We could have used them ourselves. They said the difference was they didn't know how to use them. Right, General? They didn't know how to use them. They had no idea. But I want to recognize Navy Athletic Director Michael Kelly, who has just done an incredible job. Thank you very much. Along with head coach Brian Newberry, fantastic coach, Brian. The second best start for any football coach in school history. What's second? Who's first? That must have been a Roger Staubach here, maybe, or something. Because I tell you what, I got to watch Roger Staubach, and he was something. It was like, I have to say, I said it, and some people were insulted by it, but it was like a man playing with children. He would single-handedly win those games. It was incredible. Thanks as well to your superintendent, Lieutenant General Michael Borg-Schulte, who is an accomplished Navy linebacker, a very good one, back in the day. We're also pleased to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Now, I don't know if he's here because I actually told him he had an option, be in the sit room, you know, the famous situation, but be up here. And if it's okay, I told him, but I think he has 2 very beautiful sons up here. They're the best. Boone and Jackson, are you 2 guys? Well, I told your father, just be in the situation room. We're okay with that, right? I think so. Right, Coach? Coach, I think you're okay. So Boone and Jackson, someday you'll be on this team, maybe, right? Would you be on Navy, Army, Air Force? Which one? Take Navy. Just say Navy. Okay. I don't want to get them in trouble. And your father's doing a fantastic job. And also the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane. So Dan is unbelievable, and I picked him for a reason because I was told it would take 5 years to beat ISIS by our television generals. You know, there's a big difference between generals, just like there is between coaches and everything else. They said, sir, 5 years, and I went to Iraq because I didn't understand why 5 years, and I met this general, and his name was Dan Kane. I said, what's your name? He said, Raisin, sir. I said, really, Raisin? What is that? Raisin? Oh, it's just my nickname, sir. What's your last name? Kane. I said, your name's Raisin Kane? You're the guy I'm looking for. And it turned out to be right. So they told me it was going to take 4 to 5 years to knock out ISIS. And now I'm in Iraq. I come down and meet him, some other generals. He was the boss. And I said, how long would it take for you to knock out ISIS? He said, 4 weeks, sir. I said, 4 weeks. They tell me 4 years, maybe 5. He said, well, whatever they want, sir. They're the boss. I'm just here. But you can do it in 4 weeks, sir. And you have time left over. I said, you gotta be kidding. And he explained that we went through a whole big thing. Well, nobody in this room would be bored by it. Actually, it's like every word of it, every word of it. But bottom line, I said, let me go back. But as I'm leaving, it was very interesting. I'm walking down the stairs, long fight. I had to turn off the lights after spending trillions of dollars. You had to turn the lights off in the plane because you didn't want to be spotted by the enemy. This was something, so we land. And they said, sir, would you like to rest for a while before we have a meeting? I said, I don't have to rest. My name's not Biden. I'm not resting. And we had great meetings. And then I got back in the plane and I said to him, Sir General, you say 4 weeks, we mean 4 weeks, sir, and you have time left over. I said, I'll call you on Monday when I get back. And I called him, I said, you still feel that way, General? He said, yes, sir. And I let him do it. He did it in less than 4 weeks. He defeated ISIS. It was amazing. What a difference. You know, I always say, what a difference the president makes. The border. They said, it can't be done without Congress. It will take years. We did it in about 3 weeks. We have a border that's now 9 months in a row. Nobody's come into our country illegally. I'm not even sure if that can be right. But the Democrats keep the stats. So they say, I mean, they have 0 people came in through our border. You see it, right? And I said, the president makes a big difference. Well, the generals make a big difference too. But I told him, I said, Dan, if you don't mind, stay in the Situation Room and you watch all those attacks that we're hitting those guys with. And they don't know what's happening. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is all gone, it's all gone. Their radar is all gone. Their leaders are all gone. The next set of leaders are all gone. And the next set of leaders are mostly gone. And now nobody wants to be a leader over there anymore. We're having a hard time. We want to talk to them, and there's nobody to talk to. We have nobody to talk to. And you know what? We like it that way. And we have many other distinguished members of the United States military, but I want to tell you, Hexeth is doing a great job, and Raising Cane is doing a great job, as good as anybody's ever seen. Don't forget, we had Venezuela. That was the beginning where people started to see the talent. I rebuilt the military and built it, frankly, including Space Force. But I rebuilt the military in my first term. I didn't think I'd be using it this much, but I'm glad I rebuilt it because we can't let these lunatics have nuclear weapons because they were going to use them. They'd use them fast. One of the ways you know that is when this whole thing started, they started shooting missiles all over the Middle East at countries that were basically not involved because they wanted to take over the Middle East. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. The only question would have been the first hour or the first day. That's the only question. They would have used it. And if they can use a nuclear weapon, the world would have been in big trouble. We had to stop. It should have been done long ago. I also want to thank FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, perhaps the most powerful man in this room. You are doing some job. He's trying to keep the fake news. He's trying to make the fake news real and respected again, which is not an easy job, but you're doing a really amazing job. First time that's happened in 25 years. So I congratulate you and everybody in the room. Everybody in this whole country is watching what you're doing, and we appreciate it. When a man can get elected in a landslide, winning think of it, 7 swing states, win them all. We win the popular vote. We win the Electoral College by a tremendous amount. We win the counties by 82 or 84%. And I got no good press. Think of it. Only one thing, that only means one thing. These people are not respected. They're just not respected, and we have to have a press that's respected. When you can win an election where they say that I got 94% bad press, think of it, the other side got 94% good press. When they can get 94% and you win in a landslide, that means the press is not respected. People have no confidence in. So you're doing a fantastic job. Senators Todd Young and Dan Sullivan, great senators, wherever you may be. You're here someplace. Where are you? Hello, fellas. Good senators. Great guys. And Representatives Ronnie Jackson, White House doctor, He served 3 presidents. He said he had Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of Barack Hussein Obama? You had Obama. I didn't want to talk about Biden, but he said, and you had Bush. You had young Bush, I call him, young Bush. I was not a fan, but that's all right. But the press asked him, who was the healthiest of the 3? Dr. Ronnie. Stand up, Dr. Ronnie. There's a big deal. Took a lot of heat for this. They said, no, most guys would say, well, we don't want to talk about that. They said, who's the healthiest of the 3? He said, President Donald J. Trump by far. If he didn't eat junk food, he'd live to 200 years old, he said. And I love this guy, and he then left and he ran. He was an admiral, and he then left, and he was a White House doctor, a very respected one. He saved a lot of lives. He was a great doctor. People don't realize that. And he then left and he said, sir, I'd like to run for Congress. I said, you've never done it before. You won't be able to pull it off. In a very, very all-Trump district, there were 28 people running. Man was retiring. He's been there for years. And I said, Ron, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but we'll try it, right? And we got him in. He blew him away. There was one man that was favored. He was a rhino. He was favored to win easily. And we wiped him out, right, Ron? And he's been a congressman. He's one of the most popular people in Congress. But I don't care about that. I just care that he was my doctor, and he said I'm the healthiest human being. He said, Ronnie, am I healthier than these guys back here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. All right. See, this is why I like him. Also with Ronnie is Derek Van Orden, a fantastic guy, and members of the Naval Academy's Board of Visitors. Sean Spicer has gone on to great things, and Walt Nuda. Walt, where's Walt? Walt's become a very famous guy. He works with me, and he does a great job. Great, loyal, incredible person. And Sean Spicer, where's Sean? Where's Sean? Great job, and he's got a very successful television career going. What the hell do I get out of it? Well, you know what? I get nice statements. That's what I get out of it, right?
Yes, sir. 100%.
It's great. You've done great. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Those are really the people that are very much in charge of making everything work at the Academy. And the other academies, separate groups. A very important position. For the Navy midshipmen, 2025 was truly a season for the ages. You didn't just win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, you made history as one of the greatest teams to ever wear the proud uniform of Navy football, some uniform. The teams have gotten so good in the schools that I was able to get, and we're pushing it very hard to make it permanent, a military academy deferment policy. So, because you have some people here, you know, when I went on the field and I threw up a coin, I'm standing next to these guys, they were monsters. I said, look at the size of these guys. I thought they were supposed to be smaller. I thought you had sort of restrictions on size, you know? We got rid of that because some of these guys were extremely large. And we have the NFL teams here also. When whoever wins the Super Bowl, they come. The baseball teams, we had the Dodgers, we have them all. But I saw the size of these guys, so I got used to it. And I said, these guys are as big as the NFL. And at one of the visits a while ago, first term, they asked me, they said, sir, we have a hard time recruiting because a player, if he's really good, he can't do the 4 or 5 years in the military service. Could you would like to do a military academy deferment policy? I immediately knew what he meant. And we got it done. And it allows you to defer your service until after your career. So if you go in the NFL for 10 years, so now everyone wants to join. So do I get credit for this successful team then? Huh? The superintendent's going to say yes. I don't know about the coach. I don't know about Kelly. But the coach, I think, it made your life a little bit easier. It was tough. It was tough for the teams when they used to have to play guys that were twice their size, right? So they did good. They had better heart. They have the best heart in the business, but size does matter. And so what we did is we got that so you have a deferment, so a lot of people are able to join now, and they do their service later. They're great patriots, but that would be a lot to ask. And I think it's helped your teams really compete at the highest level. The team was led by your incredible senior class, and that includes the co-captain and star quarterback, Blake Horvath, who is fantastic. Where are you, Blake? Wait a minute, you're a player. I was at that game. He's a player. Yeah. a good everything. You can run it, you can throw it. What do you think? NFL material? You have no choice, Shep. Thank you. Stay up here if you want. Look at this guy. He walks up. Most of them just stay there. Just, they don't want it. Very good. Look at him. I can't get rid of him. I can't stay there if you want. Come on, stay there. He's a quarterback. What the hell? But he ends his college career as one of the most accurate Navy quarterbacks of all time, with an astounding almost 60% completion rate, second only to the man we just spoke about, Roger Staubach, who was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. He served 5 years, and then he came in, and came in at like 27 or something, and he was phenomenal as an NFL player. Likewise, senior wide receiver Eli Haydenreich scorched opposing defenses all year long. They've been writing about him, a lot of stories, setting a school record for receiving touchdowns. And you do need a quarterback for that. Where's Eli? Where's Eli? Come here, Eli. Get over here. Look at the size of this guy. They're all saying he's got NFL. Pretty good. I see by the size of those hands you have no trouble catching the ball. Beautiful. And we're going to bring them down to the Oval Office. Nobody else. We don't have room for none of all these big shots that we have here. None of the senators, none of all these people. We're going to bring them down. We're giving them a special medal, a beautiful medal, a very expensive medal that if I see it on eBay tonight, I'll be extremely upset. All right, so we're going to all march down there later. Congratulations. Thank you very much. That's great. Very nice that you say that. The whole team is pointing at you. Are you looking to go NFL if you can?
Yes, sir. I'm hoping to.
Okay, good. Good. That's great. I'll bet you make it. So we have Eli and setting all the school records for receiving touchdowns, earning a spot at the NFL Combine, and cementing himself as, without a doubt, the greatest wide receiver in Navy history. That is not bad. Did you do the Combine?
Yes, sir.
How did you find it? Were you impressed by the athletes?
I was, yes, sir.
Were you as good as them?
I like to.
Were you better? They're all saying they like you. They're all saying he's better. Good. I can see it. We're going to watch, okay? We're watching all you guys. And let's not forget one of the strongest athletes the Navy has ever seen. Oh, this is the guy I want to meet. Who was named a first-team All-American. You can't do better than that. On 5 different organizations. So 5 groups named a first-team All-American. Senior lineman and co-captain Landon Robertson. Where's Landon? Where's? His arms are like steel. It just hurt my head. I hit his muscle. It's like steel. You think I can take him in a fight? Like Ronnie. Congratulations. That's fantastic. So listen to this about Landon with a 665-pound squat and a 465-pound bench press. What about women playing in men's sports? Think we could have a woman take your position? Is there a woman out there? I don't think so. We're trying to end that. No men. Think of it. No men in women's sports. Maybe I'll put Landon in women's sports for a little while. How ridiculous. I mean, they say that's an 80-20 issue. No. That's a 99% issue. It's amazing. Thank goodness the Democrats keep pushing these things. Open borders, transgender for everybody, and they want to have men playing women's sports. So Landon has some really big records, and he's so strong that the team had to special order a longer barbell. I see, because the barbell would break. That's crazy. Is he the strongest one on the team? Huh? There's no doubt with all you big, strong guys. Look at this guy at the end. What do you think, man? So thank you very much. We have a lot of fun at these things. I love sports, and I love athletics, and I love competition. I love competition, and these guys are champions. But perhaps no single player better represents the heart and soul of this team than your 5'9", 174. I love those guys. Those guys that are a little smaller than you're supposed to be, but they have a bigger heart than everybody on the team, right? And the other team too. 174-pound playmaker who delivered key knockouts and blocks on opponents almost twice his size. Senior Brandon Chapman. Brandon plays selfless, relentless football. I got this from his coach. As he likes to say, quote, here's a quote, "The way I look at it, the fight's not over until I win." That's it, right? Just keep going. And that's really the spirit of the Navy and our great sailors. Where are you, Brandon? They love them. Boy, I tell you, you don't have players like that. You don't win. You just can't win. You need people like Brandon, and they all have that big heart. It's very tough when you get into that elite group. When you beat those schools that are big and powerful, it's a pretty amazing thing. This group of winners opposed and opened the 2025 season with 7 straight victories, including a thrilling win over one of your top rivals. It's always tough, too, Air Force. Coach, Air Force is always tough. What is that? I mean, they're always tough. You beat them, but they always seem to have a good record, and they always seem to do well, right? But no problem with this team, right? What was the score you won by, Coach? Was it a close game or not that close?
We won by 3.
1 by 3. You won a couple of close ones, but you won. Doesn't really matter, so at least you win, right? So that's great, Coach. But as every Navy football player knows, you don't make it to the White House unless you also triumph over Army on that second Saturday of December, which is the whole deal. I was at that game. It was amazing. It was an amazing game. The spirit. And I have to say, they introduced Trump, the place went crazy. There were no, let's give a little boo. There wasn't a boo in the house. Even the fake news couldn't say. I've gone to games where I would say I got 97%, but there might be one person, boo, boo. They cover that person, they interview that person becomes a star. But they couldn't find any person at that game. That was some game. It was some scene in the historic 126 Army-Navy football game. And again, something I really enjoyed. I love being there. I'll be there. Coach, I'll be there. You got to be back, Coach. We can't ever lose you. You'll be back, right? Well, you better be back. Do whatever you do, Kelly. Get him signed, right? Speaking of that, and you get him signed, all right? But you battled back from a 2-score deficit to draw within 6 points in the fourth quarter. Now, I was there. It was looking not great. It was not looking great, fellas. You know, I can't say I was rooting for you, but I did want to see that commander-in-chief deal. Is a big deal, right? And it only happens if you win, and it wasn't looking great. With time slipping away, Navy mounted one final drive, and you marched downfield, nearing the goal line after running back Alex Teska broke loose into the secondary, which was amazing, for a huge 24-yard gain. Okay, where's Alex? Where's Alex? I saw Alex before. Thank goodness, thank goodness. That was fantastic. I watched that because it was not looking good. After you did that, the momentum shifted, right, Coach? The coach was saying, I don't know, I got a problem, and then he did that. We all felt good. That's great. Congratulations. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So Alex did his job, and he did a fantastic job. But every football player knows, every single one of them, that you don't have heart, you don't have that. You can have all the strength, like Brandon, you can have all the strength you want, but if you don't have heart, that's exactly what Alex showed, and he's another one that's known for that. Then 3 times the formidable Army defense held the line, and they really held it, making it 4th and goal, midshipmen. So it's time to do or die, right, Coach? And with 6 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock, other teams might have kicked an easy field goal, but that's not this, Coach. Coach, did you have a call? Did you call up the superintendent and talk to him like, what do I do? Or did you just say, let's go for it? I think you said go. I think you just go for it, right, Coach? But not this team with this coach, with the Commander-in-Chief's trophy on the line, which is a big deal. Blake dropped back in the pocket, surveyed the field, delivered a strike across the middle to Eli for a touchdown, and secured victory over Army in one of the most iconic moments in Navy football history. I wouldn't say in Army football history. I guess it was iconic also, but not quite in the same manner. But I watched that. That was incredible. The annual Army-Navy game is truly one of the most special occasions in all of sports. But in recent years, the college football playoff expansion has encroached on this sacred 4-hour time slot traditionally reserved for Army-Navy. So what did I do? I went out. I don't know if I could have pulled it off. I have much more power in my second term, don't you think? What do you think? Would you say, Brendan? Much more power. First term, I don't know if I could have gotten away with this, but what did I do? I went out and said, I'm going to sign an executive order to ensure that the second Saturday in December is preserved exclusively. Nobody's playing football. Not Ohio State against Notre Dame, not LSU against Alabama. Nobody's going to play football for 4 hours during that very special time of the year in December. It's preserved forever for the Army-Navy game. Now, if you don't want to watch football, you don't have to. But if you want to watch football, you're only watching one game. You're not watching 19 different games, all of them in many ways big. So, Coach, that puts a little pressure because the whole world's going to be watching. So nobody else is going to be allowed. Of course, we'll probably get sued at some point, because we always get sued. But we win those suits, and we'll win this one. The only game that's going to be played, so we preserve that time, no matter who it is. You're playing the Army-Navy game. It keeps it special. We like it, right? Are you okay with it? Huh? And just simply, we don't want other college football games over, playing over us. And frankly, I'd always watch the Army-Navy game anyway, but you don't know. You get some of these games, they're pretty tough, and pretty good, and they're pretty tough. And they'll be able to play, but they'll play after 7 o'clock, I think. We brought it all the way up to 7 o'clock, so that should give you plenty of time, even if you have a little overtime stuff. So it's great. It's just an honor to do, because it's such an important tradition of our country. It's beyond football, actually. It's a tradition of our country. In 2 short months, the 28 seniors on this team will be commissioned as officers in the greatest military the world has ever seen. We're the greatest military in the world, the strongest, the greatest, and we're proving that when you can take Venezuela in a matter of minutes, put somebody on a helicopter that was well guarded with thousands of people with iron doors. Those doors were like plastic. The United States Navy, the Marines, the whole military, we have the greatest in the world. I was so proud of what I did. And I always loved Space Force because that was my baby. That has never happened. That hasn't happened in 81 years, a new force. And it hadn't happened. And I think we all agree that Space Force has become, you think, right? Very important to the success that we're having even now. Over the past few weeks, the world has seen the true strength and might of our sailors and aviators as they fought in one of the most complex and successful military operations of all time against the Iranian regime. And it's amazing. It's not, I don't want to get too crazy here. Not a contest. It's not even a contest. They do whatever they want. They had a lot of great equipment. Russian equipment, Chinese equipment, they had plenty of money. That equipment was useless against us, useless. No force on earth can beat the American sailors or the American military. We're the strongest in the world by far. To those standing behind me who will soon be joining these missions, I say, sail fast, stay strong, and go Navy. And I just want to congratulate again this incredible team on the win of this trophy. It's not often that this trophy gets presented. You have to have a very special year to get it. And I'm going to sign the executive order right now and then invite Coach Newberry up to say a few words and talk about what a great team and what great individuals they are. So, Coach, I'll sign and then you take over, okay? Thank you very much. This is not an auto pen. Imagine taking it and say, would you please have this signed? Somehow, I don't know how they got by that. It didn't work. Let's go. It's a good one. We rate them. That's close to a 10, maybe a 10. See, fellas, you can see it first. That's pretty good, right? I'll give these out also, because Bill passed them around. But you're going to get them down at the office. You're going to get that here if you have a mistake. Coach, take over. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for signing that executive order, protecting the sanctity of the Army-Navy game. It's a game with a soul, and it deserves to be protected. Thank you very much. Thank you to you and your staff, your gracious hospitality, and for making today's ceremony possible. Thank you to the distinguished guests and everyone in attendance for being here to recognize this team and this exceptional group of young men. On behalf of our players, our staff and their families, our superintendent, General Michael Book-Schulte, and our athletic director, Michael Kelly, it is truly an honor to be here. We're grateful and humbled to be back again. As I shared last year, it's been our goal to return to this stage many times during your tenure, Mr. President. There's no higher honor in our program than standing here, representing the Naval Academy, the entire brigade of midshipmen, the Brotherhood, and all the men and women who serve and have served in our Navy and Marine Corps. These young men understand that wearing the Navy uniform comes with a responsibility greater than football. Each day they strive to live up to the core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and the standards of those who came before them. Leaders of character who have gone on to serve our country with distinction. What they accomplished this season is a direct result of that ethos and mindset. The players here on stage and to my left in the audience are some of the very best our country has to offer. In just a little over 2 months, these 28 seniors standing behind me will graduate and commission as officers in our Navy and Marine Corps under your command, Mr. President. They will do so with character, discipline, and the values that define this institution. I also want to recognize our fellow service academies, the United States Army and the United States Air Force. The rivalry we share is among the greatest traditions in college football, but it is grounded in deep and enduring respect, because we know that one day many of these young men may stand shoulder to shoulder in defense of our nation. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy represents the commitment, discipline, teamwork that define the future leaders and warfighters of our armed forces. Every day our players balance the demands of Division I athletics with the responsibility of preparing to serve as officers. That challenge forges the character this trophy represents. In our view, it is the most meaningful and honorable trophy in all of college sports. To our families, alumni, and the countless people who support the Naval Academy, thank you. Your belief in these young men and what this institution stands for makes moments like this possible and special. Mr. President, thank you for hosting us today and for your continued support of the men and women who serve our great country. This time, I'd like to bring our two captains, Landon Robinson and Blake Horvath, up to present you with a couple of gifts.
Great, thank you.
Sure, for sure. Well, first, Mr. President, it's just an honor to be here.
This is very heavy.
I know.
Strong neck.
Like you said, well, you're the healthiest guy here, so you got the neck to do it. Yes, sir. So just want to say thank you so much for having us here. Absolute honor. And last year, I was hesitant to say it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right, because I knew we'd be back this year. So I'm glad I can now say it's a twice-in-a-lifetime experience. And just couldn't have done it without our whole team here, right? Our support staff, from the strength and the trainers to all these guys and all the guys who are still at school right now in class. Thanks to all of them, and just for everybody for supporting us. And go Navy, beat everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, first off, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to be here. Blake said most of it, but I'm just so thankful to all my teammates and all my coaches for all the hard work they've put in. It's very hard to go 11-2 in the season, but I couldn't be more proud to play for Navy football, and I couldn't be more proud to represent the United States Naval Academy. So go Navy, beat Army forever.
See you at the Oval. Now, anybody does not want to go to the Oval, please raise your hand. See you at the Oval. Thank you. See you in a couple of minutes. Okay? I'm sorry. Thank you, everybody.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. We'll be back right after this. All right, folks, we are back. We did want to give you an update on a Salisbury homicide that we learned about just this morning. And in fact, there's been an arrest made in this in the 1200 block of Beard Street. This is where this homicide occurred. They arrested Nemoyus Jackson. He was born in 2000, so he is 26 years of age at this time, charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of Sebastian Rankin Jr. Kannapolis Police Department and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation assisted with this arrest. We're going to have more for you tonight at 11, but let's go to this interview with Nick Sturdivant right now.
Hey, welcome back here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sturdivant. Some big news, exciting news, a big weekend. Not only is it going to be warm, I know you guys are going to be out and about, but you want to go inside because it's a big event happening on UNC Charlotte's campus. So a new film, Devil in a Sundress, is premiering right here in Charlotte this weekend. It's a psychological thriller about obsession, deception, and the cost of trusting the wrong heart. Really interesting. I got a chance to check out the trailer. It blurs the line between beauty and danger, innocence and manipulation through moody cinematography and deliberate pacing. The producer and director crafted a world where nothing is quite what it seems. Very interesting film from the trailer. Again, it premieres at UNC Charlotte, on the campus of UNC Charlotte, and we got the crew here. We got the guys here. We were, getting ready for the interview. I asked them if they were excited, if they were nervous. They seemed like they cool, calm, and collected. I don't see anybody sweating right now. So let me.
We're natural.
So we got Tunde Sobowale, producer and director, Andy Roberts, production manager, and we have Solomon Amaji, lead actor.
Yep,
Man.
and it's Solomon Amaning.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep, thank you.
I am also an actor in the film.
I was about to say, I thought I saw you. That was one of my questions. I was like, wait, Andy, were you in the film? You were the judge, right?
Yeah, I'm the judge.
Okay. You got to check out the trailer. Apologies about the last name. Yeah, I try here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask y'all again. How are y'all feeling? The premiere is tomorrow. Y'all are cool as cucumbers right now. I don't see a bead of sweat. I'm looking hard right now. Solomon's sweating a little bit. But overall, y'all seem cool. How are y'all feeling?
Yeah, we are very excited. We are not new in the game. We know what's going on. And we have a lot of fans in Charlotte who are really excited about this movie, and they're waiting to see the movie. And we've received calls. Our YouTube is blowing up, and we're here. Excited also to push this out, also to kind of create opportunities and chances for other people to come in and see, and also connect with us. It's a beautiful movie, very impactful, great stories, and for the city of Charlotte, because we love the city and we want us to strive just like other big city in production, and we want things to happen in Charlotte, and we're making it happen.
What does it mean to have a film premiere in Charlotte? Because you think about Atlanta's not far away from here. LA is always, I'm thinking about the Oscars. Obviously that recently happened. Everything it seems like happens in LA, but Charlotte, you don't hear about. At least I don't. A film premiere in Charlotte every day. What does that mean?
I mean, Charlotte is beautiful, and things are really happening. It's just that, probably we're too quiet. It's time to actually start speaking up and blowing up the beauty of Charlotte and the things that we can do. I know big films comes in to shoot quietly and leave, but we Charlotteans, we want to make more noise, right? We want to tell people that things are happening here. We're doing African American movie at its best, great stories, and we really want people to come into Charlotte and partner with us, and let's do things together. Solomon?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm actually one of few Charlotte natives, so born and raised here. Piedmont IB Middle School for middle school, East Mac for high school, and still staying around in the hometown. I've loved the development that I've seen over time, and just to be able to follow my passion of acting and be able to do that here in Charlotte, I mean, it means the world to me. Just it's great to be able to have friends and family around, support me, pour into me, and just to be able to kind of continue to build this acting community here in Charlotte.
What is the film about? Because I laid it out. I was mysterious about it. Because I love a good thriller, and I think that's the best things about thrillers. When you watch the trailer and you're like, okay, what is this about? But this is intriguing. What's the film about?
Yes, please.
This one. And I'll go back and talk about some of the other films that are taking place here that Tunde pointed out that we don't know about because they're in and out. This film, I'm going to say without giving it away.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of things about greed. Tunde usually has a message in all of his movies and the characters, what they portray. So I think if you were to have a discussion about it, it'll become very apparent once you've seen the movie. But I'm not going to give that away, but I'll let you do the over-the-top stuff.
All right. I'm the writer, I'm the producer, but I have Solomon here who did the lead. He read through the script, and maybe you want to say something about that.
Yeah. So when I first got the script, just meeting Tunde recently, working on a previous project, Silent Murmur, and I was really excited just to get this opportunity to take a look and dive into the world of David. And as I started to read through the script, I saw how, again, that mystery was woven in, that big theme of greed, deceit, and understanding that ultimately truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. That's really going to be the key here. And so what really caught my attention was just that aspect of being able to tell that story of how we can get caught up in the flashy things from time to time. We can often, be misled by people who may make us think that they believe in the greater good. That's not how things always work out. And so just kind of working through that and learning how this lesson can be applied to everyone's life, which is really a big part for me and why I wanted to be a part of this project.
It was hard to tell by the trailer. I was like, who do I want to root for? I'm like, am I rooting for? I'm like, by the end of the trailer, I'm conflicted because I'm like, I don't know if I like either of these people from the trailer. That's why I'm like, I got to watch this film. Talk about the process of making it. What were the days like? How long did it take to film it? What was that like?
Production is really tricky. A lot of planning is put into production. It's good when people sit and watch the end product, but the effort is really tremendous. A lot of planning, like I mentioned. It took us about 3 to 4 months to put this together. Because we did pre-production, we did production and post-production. And during the pre-production, that's the most important because we want to get your people down, get the costumes, the props, the location, and also make sure that they understand their line and the chemistry between actors. And all those has to really, really be at the top notch before you move into production itself. And then also reaching out to people, talking to your production manager. It takes a lot, but at the end, the beauty is that you see what your efforts, the product of your efforts, right? And when you sit in post-production and you see the beauty of what you have done, that really keeps you going, And I'm very excited about this movie because a lot is put in, and I guess I'm excited. Really, I'm happy that at the end of the day we're able to push this out, or we want people to come and see it.
What is the appetite like for filmmaking here in Charlotte? Right, North Carolina. The Carolinas are no strangers for productions and films being shot here. But what's the appetite like now? Because I always say Charlotte is a very creative. The area is a very creative city. But is there a strong appetite for filmmaking?
I believe so. We're gradually seeing more cinema take place, being filmed here, produced here locally. For example, this is going back some years ago. We've had, you might remember a movie called Shallow Hal. That was shot here, and if you go down on Tryon, you'll see some of the landmarks, buildings that were in background for the film. There's a lot. You can just research as many as you can, but I think overall the appetite is great. I can tell you that we're finding more quality cast and crew. By the way, our cast was wonderful, and it was great working with both of these folks. We've really become a family more than so. But I think if you really take a good look, you'll see a lot of activity in terms of movies coming and more cinema. To illustrate that, outside of the film production piece, you have a lot of community theater here too. Hundreds that you may not know about. The MTA Awards, the Metrolina Theater Association, for example, has a lot of stock, and a lot of those actors participating in those participate in some of the movies here locally. When Sydney Sweeney shot a lot of her biopic about Chrissy Martin, was done here.
I did not know that. Wow, okay.
In fact, I was an extra in that particular one as a emergency room doctor. So, yeah.
Wow. How do you think about, okay, I'm focused on promoting this film, the premiere, but also balance what's next? Because obviously, like, you're creative. Y'all want to do more films. Y'all want to do just more. But how do you stay in the moment, but also think about, okay, what's next?
Well, there's always passion driving this, right? A lot of people think they have talent.
Say that louder for the people in the back.
Just about that time. You're on your own.
And they jump into this. This is blood and sweat, my brother.
Yeah.
They jump into these production things, and then I've seen young people coming to me and say, "Oh, hey, Director T, I can do this. I need to pay my bills." But the thing is, I said to people, look, you need to separate talent from gift. It's very important, right? You might have the talent, you don't have the gift to continue. Continuity is very important,
Yeah.
And I've been in the game for so many years. We've really put in effort and my time, and we're not backing down. Our next level is actually focusing on series on YouTube, and the title is called Judgment, and we have 13 episodes in place. Judgment is a story around how the correctional system is really messed up, and we're looking at a way where we could use films to really push that out. Because for me, I felt that sending young people to jail, for example, and then they come out, I don't see any difference, right? There are other ways, other alternatives that we could come up with as a society to help juveniles who are continually going back into crime, right? So Judgment is kind of scripted in a way where we could really help. How can we build up a mentorship program where it's going to be like a one-on-one, people who have experienced that and they're out of, the situation, and they make really, really good things out of life. They could really mentor people, because young people who go to prison, I felt that they're lonely and they don't have mentorship. And those that have come across, that's the same story, right? So we're using Judgment to kind of, create awareness and see if that can also reach out to leadership and see how we could use that series to discuss better ways to help juveniles who are continually going back to crime.
And you're meeting them where they're at, right? Because what are young people on? Even us, we on the phone, and they can watch it. You can watch anything on your phone. That's super creative.
Yeah, the recidivism rate is extremely high. We like to put another spin on it, if you will, to focus in on some of the underlying causes and to really go deeper, and perhaps we can learn some lessons from what we learned.
Yep.
Solomon, you're from here. What did your family say? Did they have they seen it yet, or did they get a sneak peek? I know they saw the trailer, but
So they've only seen the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is gonna be fresh for them as well. So I know they're excited. They're definitely excited. Again, like I said, that middle school, Piedmont, East Meck, shout outs to them. Like I said, that's kind of where I kind of got my career started with musical theater. And so this is my first feature film.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. So I think they're excited for me just jumping back into my passion. And releasing some of those gifts that they know that I have within me that I haven't really been able to show the world. So that's why I have to thank Tunde, thank Andy for just giving me this opportunity again to be able to showcase my talent. And again, going back to that question of thinking about now, but also looking forward to the future, I think the key is really just using this as a learning experience. It's a moment where I get to showcase my talent, get to learn from other actors and actresses that were in the film, Gigi Noth, just my co-star, and many of the other actors and actresses. We talked a lot in this process as we went through rehearsals, whether we were on set or we were on Zoom calls at home. We were able to kind of build some relationships, learn from each other, share feedback. And so just through this whole process, I think everybody's just been very excited. Very excited.
Brother, I'll tell you this. I obviously I just met you here 15 whatever minutes ago. I'm like, is that the same dude? You really lost yourself from watching this trailer. So congratulations, because I was like, this is a totally. Which, I mean, that's the point of. But I was like, wait, is that the same dude? Because you know, there's some movies out there where you're like, oh man, I hate to call him out. Will Smith playing Will Smith. Right. Or like, man, that's like if we want to talk about it, I love one battle after another, right? But I was like, that's Tiana Taylor playing Tiana Taylor, right? And I didn't see anybody else, but I was like, man, is that Solomon? Is that Solomon? Is it
I appreciate it. I think Solomon has done such a great job. I actually started calling him David. That's his character. Hey, David. What, man? But that was it was a lot of fun. It's very talented. I don't know if we can name everyone.
You could try.
But
you could try.
You
got to come and see the movie, then you can see all the names. That's
because you don't want to, skip anyone. Toy, Akila. Let's see, there was Price, Alicia Price.
Yeah, Price, Marcus Looney,
Alan Martin.
Yeah,
all of these are fantastic actors.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, well done.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. If you will continue to I don't want to cut you.
I'm already in trouble.
I take the blame. I got you in trouble, Eddie. I got you in trouble. I put you out there. One last question before I get you guys out of here. You've been so gracious with your time.
Oh, thank you.
What do you hope people learn or take away from this film when they watch it? What do you hope they take away?
Well, from my viewpoint, I hope they enjoy the film, first of all, and that they see an authentic event that happens and they can relate to it. And then the second part of that is I hope that enlightens folks so much that we can do more of these, because we're actually a fledgling company here, but we're intent on trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this will be a start.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the message that we really want to push out through the film, we also want to create connectivity. We want togetherness. Charlotte is fun. We want to share love, right? It's the universal language. So we really want people to come out, connect with us. Let's have conversation. It's a beautiful evening, red carpet, food, drinks, music, and movie. I mean, what else do you want? All right. So yeah, we're coming out. Everybody come. Let's connect and build this community with love and kindness. Yeah.
And then I'll just piggybacking off of that, I'll just say I think main theme is just remembering the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
You have to be able to take that away at the least.
Oh man, you gonna drop that on payday? Right. Come on.
I know. It's a great day. It's a great day, but we can't get too attached to it. It's gotta go. It's gonna come back.
People looking at it like, man, I just got my paycheck, man. Wells Fargo sent me the notification.
Where you going?
Right.
But I do also want to say, like Tunde said again as well, just seeing the different sites and just areas that we filmed around Charlotte, recognizing the beauty that we have here in the city. Again, like I said, as a hometown kid, I always rep the city, no matter where I go. Again, it may have been different 15 years ago. It might have been tough to say, but at this point now, I think I want you to take away that beauty that Charlotte has and understand that, we have a great place that we call home. Just love it, nurture it, and let's continue to work together to just make more projects, support each other, and just continue to grow.
Man, Charlotte is a beautiful city, man. A beautiful city. I appreciate y'all, man, for what y'all doing. Don't be a stranger. Come back. You're welcome back anytime. Just let me know. Andy knows. I'll respond back fast to email. I got back. Oh, man. Don't want to miss it, man. This Saturday, March 21st, on the campus of UNC Charlotte, Devil in a Sundress premiering. Man, you don't want to miss it. What tickets still available?
Yes. The doors open at 5.
Okay.
The reception starts at 6, and then the premiere at 7.
Okay.
In the McKnight Auditorium on UNCC's campus.
Oh man, see, you got it right here. The ticket's still available, so no excuse to miss it. man, again, thank you guys.
I think you can buy tickets online.
You can buy tickets
You can buy
online.
online, or also you can buy at the venue.
So no excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse. All right. We got Andy, Tunde, and Solomon here in studio. Thank you guys, man. Again, thank you. Let's head to break. We'll be back here in just 2 minutes.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that film. All right, guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. See you then. All right, folks, we are back. We're going to go to Salute the Heroes this game. We thought we had it earlier, but we're going to play it now.
The Charlotte Salute the Heroes Foundation is bringing the community together through 2 weekends of sporting events honoring first responders throughout the Carolinas. These events feature high school lacrosse and, of course, the Salute the Heroes hockey charity game. On Saturday, March 28th, the Charlotte Salute the Heroes Foundation, partnered with the Stick With Us Foundation, will host the 6th annual Heroes Lacrosse Bowl at Ballantyne Ridge High School. 14 area high school teams will compete in matches dedicated to fallen first responders from the Carolinas. The event will also host a special matchup between the first responder teams, the CFD Infernals, versus the CMPD Hornets. On Saturday, April 4th, first responder hockey teams representing Medic and Fire versus CMPD and the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office will face off at Bojangles Coliseum with the puck dropping at 3 p.m. This marks the 18th year that we host this charity event benefiting local first responders and honoring those who have given their lives in the line of duty. Last year's our players had a thrilling game with CMPD securing the victory versus our CFD medic team.
Negative.
Sorry, gentlemen.
We screwed that up. Correct that. Yeah.
That's correct.
CFD 182 last year.
Rewind.
Last. We're talking about the fights now. I mean, the team they did kind of. I know. Hey, I'm neutral, baby. I'm neutral. Okay.
I told you he was trying to create controversy.
Bring it back. Last year's our players had a thrilling game with CFD medic team defeating our CMPD Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office team in a memorable victory. Each year holds a significant cause for us as we pay homage to those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. We honor the 70 courageous individuals who have given their lives in the line of duty since 1892, remembering those 12 who've lost their lives since 2013. Beyond the game, this game, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to skip that part. This year we'll be hosting a community event for the family before the game, starting at 1:30, holding a touch a truck event where we will have fire trucks, medic vehicles, police vehicles, sheriff's vehicles out front of the arena. Bringing your family, bring your kids, come and join us as we help raise funds to support local first responders here in the Carolinas, both at our lacrosse game and our hockey game. I did want to take a moment to have our players come and talk about what this game means to them. So first I'm going to have folks from our lacrosse team come and speak. So, you guys come together?
We come together.
Okay.
Talk about the lacrosse game and how fun it is for you guys to play each other.
Okay.
See the game.
So I'm Detective Brendan Kennedy. I work for CMPD. I've been working for them for since 2014. I grew up on Long Island, New York, and I started playing lacrosse when I was in 3rd grade. My father worked for the NYPD, so growing up we would go to the lacrosse games, NYPD versus FDNY. We would also go to the hockey games, and I really looked up to the players back then when I was growing up and watching the first responders play in these games. So for us to finally have a team and be able to play the firefighters, it means a lot to me to continue to grow the game of lacrosse here in Charlotte, and hopefully have a competitive matchup and good, safe time out here on March 28th.
I'm Drew Lazarus, captain with the Charlotte Fire Department. I'm not really good at lacrosse, but it's a growing sport in the area. It's a lot of fun to be able to team up with our local guys, go head to head with CMPD. Last year was our first official or quasi-official game, exhibition game, running clock. This year we're really excited that Stick With Us and Salute to Heroes is going to support this moving forward, and giving us opportunity to play a full game. I'm just looking forward to being a hack out there and creating turnovers. But no, it should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
I know this is a fun game and you guys, jaw at each other all the time. But what you do is dangerous, and you're playing this game to honor those who paid the ultimate cost. Talk a little bit about what that means to you to be playing this game in honor of those.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's countless ways that we try to instill to the family that we never forget those that have gone before us. So to be able to go out to show the camaraderie with each organization, to have a really, while we may be super focused on the field, at the end, we're one big family. We all work for the same city. We all basically take the same oath. Each one, no matter if you're wearing blue or red, each one of us are brothers and sisters. Sacrificing our time, our families. It's just it's a really great way to show that support to the families and raise money for those in the future that may need some financial support and aid.
Yeah, I mean, Drew said it well. It means a lot out there, representing the CMPD and being able to have the opportunity to play when some people might not. So we're just going to go out there. We're going to give it our all, leave it all on the field, and hopefully put a good, entertaining game out there for the fans and the community, and hopefully bring some exposure to the high school kids that may want to be first responders when they grow up, and show them that, hey, if you come work for CMPD or if you come work for CFD, that we have these teams. We have a hockey team, we have a lacrosse team, we have soccer teams, we have football teams, baseball teams. It's a great way to if you're interested in being a first responder, you could still do those things that you love and things that you enjoy to help, support the community and bring entertainment out to the fans.
It shows the human side of our organizations, that despite us wearing a uniform every day and us showing up to a moment of chaos, that outside of work we still have fun and still get together. So.
Now I know you guys are, like you said, one big family, and you're brothers, but there's nothing like brothers going against brothers. You know how that is.
Heck yeah, like I said, I'm a hack.
Smack talk.
Like I said, I'm a hack with lacrosse. I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up in a lacrosse community school. I've lived vicariously through my kid, who's a high school student playing lacrosse. It's always been fun to watch. We decided, based on the sheer number of guys and girls on the department, both agencies and in the area, that have that lacrosse background. Like I said, it's a growing sport in the area. It's grown tremendously over the last 15 years, and it was time for us to kind of throw something together and see what we could come up with. So yeah, being able to go out there and have fun, talk smack, carry these sticks, right? Like, what's a better way to smack a cop with a stick?
Let's get the hockey guys. Well done. Well done, gentlemen.
Very nice.
Come on. Get in there. All right. I'm outnumbered. It's okay. And they have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just talk about the game and how fun it is for you guys to get out on the ice and actually play every year. Anyway.
18 years we've been doing this. It's a great way to come together as a team, like lacrosse. Like the lacrosse guys said, we come out. It's a one-day event that it's us versus them. Every other day we're all together. We show up on scenes together. We're helping the community in dangerous situations. Fire's there to help us. We're there to support them. But on Saturday the 4th, it's going to be one against the other, and afterwards we'll have a good time. But on the ice, you might see some shenanigans going on. But we all know why we're there. We're raising money for people that need it. It could be for any first responder across the Carolinas, and these games bring a lot of money to us to share for those families if and when. And usually it's not if, it's a when, unfortunately. But that's it's a good way for us to get that money and have it ready to support those families in need.
Yeah, I believe that's the ultimate goal. It's the excitement of the game. It's the energy from the crowd that keeps people coming back year after year, and it just helps grow it every year as well. You get new faces every year, and this game has grown leaps and bounds. And with it growing, it helps contribute to our public safety families that are in need. And that's the underlying goal here. So even though we're out there having a time and giving each other some licks and some elbows, it's that's the reason we're there. It's to pay our public safety families, get them help where they need it. So.
I'll talk a little bit about the rivalry. I didn't grow up playing hockey. I grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina. So my first experience with hockey was when I joined the Charlotte Police Department. So I didn't grow up with getting checked into boards and having pucks come flying at my head at 60, 70 miles an hour. Fortunately, Captain Griffin here gave me a really good introduction last year. I mean, I've been playing since the inception of this game, but he gave me a great reintroduction to hockey last year when he checked me into the boards. I thought I collapsed my lung and was going to have to take an emergency room visit afterwards, but I got up, dusted myself off, came back to the bench, thought about my life choices, and decided to get back out there again. There is a huge rivalry here. Out on the street, we work together really well. When we get on that ice, you don't recognize the other people on the other team because the rivalry is so huge. Firefighters can be kind of mean. I didn't know that until I started playing hockey. Police officers can be kind of mean too. So it works really well. We really get together well. We have a lot of fun. We have this huge rivalry, but at the end of the day, like these two gentlemen said, it's all about the families that we can help. We, in the last 20 years since this thing has started, we have raised so much money through Salute to Heroes, Great Balls of Fire charity, and just seeing some of this money go to really great causes. We've had officers that their children have had cancer. We've had officers that they've had cancer. All the families where their loved ones were killed in the line of duty or injured in the line of duty, we've been able to help all those families. And a lot of it comes from our great promoter, Mark Bakikio. He's the one that heads all this up and just does a really fantastic job. So the game is great. Come out if you can. You know, we love to see people come out wearing blue and supporting the police. So thank you so much.
I guess, Randy, how much, when you get a resume now, I played hockey or lacrosse, does that come to play when you're hiring somebody these days?
That's we mentioned that to new candidates. You know, say in your HR meeting that you play hockey or baseball, soccer, basketball. You play in competitive sports, and maybe it'll get you a little bit further in the interview. But we'd like to think that. So.
Every recruit class that comes through fire, that's the one question that I ask them. It's whether or not they play lacrosse.
That's the same here. I teach at the police academy, and my first question is, who's from the north? And about half the hands raise, and then I say, who plays hockey? And few more hands stay up, and I say, talk to me after class. We need to recruit some new blood for this thing.
The closing, there we go. Good. I know, that's why I stopped you. Somebody has to be the adult in this family. So, as a reminder, both these events are family friendly, they're affordable, and with everything we have going on in this world, it's a good way to get out there with your family, spend a great afternoon, mingle with first responders, and help raise awareness. So when first responders need help, there's organizations like Salute to Heroes there ready to respond to them when they're in need. Anything else you want me to add there, Mark? Michelle?
I would just say that we need to again, just invite people to the game. Like, their participation is what helps us.
We got 3,000 tickets and stuff.
Yeah. So
these sports games are a way for us to feel the support from our community. So by you showing up to the March 28th lacrosse event or the April 4th hockey event, or both, it is a great way for the community to come out and show support for our first responders in our community.
All right, looking forward to that game. Going to be a fun one. We're going to take another break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, guys, we are going to round out our 2 hours here with a Canadian singer and songwriter, Alicia Akara. We're going to get to her right now. We fielded this interview a little bit earlier today here on WCNC Plus.
At 9:38, a special guest for you right now because Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter Alicia Akara has spent a decade building her career and making herself one of pop music's most genuine billion streaming careers, starting with the breakout anthem, of course, Here, which I've been singing all morning. She's laughing. She's like, it's not quite it, Jane. Today, she's celebrating 10 years of music with something truly remarkable. Love or Lack Thereof is a brand new 12-track album out right now. We're thinking jazz, we're thinking soul, we're thinking all of your blues hits, Alicia, reimagined, right? Happy release date to you.
Thank you. I love that little rendition of Here for a second. That was lovely.
That's all you're going to get from Here.
No, we need more. I love it. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So what made this the right moment to look back at your career and bring out this album?
You know, I had come off of a whole year of touring, and so I was really in the mode of performing live, and I loved how that felt. I felt like I was really in a good space with performing, and so when I got off the road, I was like, I'm still in this like live mode. I want to do something live. And we were also coming off of the 10-year anniversary of my first album, and I wanted to commemorate that. And so I was like, how do I like put all these things together? And we thought of doing this totally live album of, you know, a bunch of my love songs and heartbreak songs over the course of 10 years. And selfishly, I just love jazz music, I love soul music, and I've always wanted to make a project in that genre. So we put all those things together, Frankensteined all those thoughts, and we came up with this album, and we recorded it in 3 days.
You came out with The Bride. What's the energy like doing it live compared to your studio sessions then?
I think there's like something really fun about the pressure of doing things live, especially the way we did it, because we recorded everything to tape. And so for those of you who know how tape works, it's very limited. You don't have a lot of takes. It's not like modern day music where you can just record a million takes and splice things together. When you're doing it live to tape, you're kind of doing a full performance, and it is what it is. And so there's something really fun about that adrenaline of like, you know, we're all in this together, and if one of us messes up, we all have to start over. So you're kind of in it. You have to be super focused. But I like that. I feel like I work well sometimes under pressure in cases like that. So I was like, this feels good.
So cool. How did you decide which babies to pick then? Which ones made it to the cut? And really, were there any songs that surprised you that you envisioned that were going to play out, and once you heard it or in editing or post, whatever you do, that didn't translate quite the way you wanted?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there was one song called I'm Yours, which is from my first album, that we recorded a bunch of times, and we had originally a completely different arrangement for it, and it just wasn't feeling right, I think, for any of us. Like, my voice was kind of not sitting right, and we all just felt like it didn't feel right, and we didn't really know why. It was just like the energy of the arrangement, and so we changed up the key a little bit, and then it ended up working out, you know. And sometimes there's no particular reason. It's just a feeling. Like, sometimes things feel great, sometimes they don't. But the beauty of working with such great musicians is that we can just adjust on the fly and try new things, and you have way more freedom, you know, when you have that synergy with great musicians. So we ended up working it out, and it sounds great now. So I'm super happy with it.
So cool. Speaking of great musicians, Nelly Furtado, Norah Jones. Of course, when I first heard your voice, definitely a throwback. I thought of Norah Jones immediately, and so obviously one of your influences. How did those dream collabs happen?
Well, in terms of Nelly Furtado, we have the same team, lucky for me. So I've known her for a little bit now. We've communicated, and she's always been so sweet to me. And so when we were thinking of the arrangement of my song Shapeshifter, I thought she would be so good on it. And so I just asked her, honestly. I just shot my shot, asked her, hoped for the best, and she was the kindest. She came in studio, and she just dropped this beautiful rendition of the verse and left. It was amazing. I'm like, how do you do that so quick? She's just such a pro. And then Nora Jones, I joined her podcast for an episode, and we sang together on the podcast. And so it planted that seed, because I was like, our voices sound really good together. And again, I just shot my shot and asked and hoped for the best, and I got 2 for 2. They were both so wonderful and generous with their time and with their voices, so I feel very honored.
And I saw that podcast with Nora. That was a very cool duet. Man, you sound really amazing. Fans have been asking for stripped-down versions of your songs for a while, though, right? Why did it take this long?
I guess, partly because I was touring so much, and I was like, I'm always kind of writing, I'm always doing something, and so it didn't feel like I had a lot of time really to sit with all these songs, and I wanted to do it in the right way as well. You have to do it with the right people, you have to find the right time, you have to be in the right headspace. All things sort of have to align, so it just worked out that way, honestly. Everything sort of aligned the way it was supposed to.
All right, first day of spring, you got a new season, you have a new album. What is next for Alessia Cara?
What is next? Summer is approaching, and it's festival season, so I would love to do hopefully some shows and perform these songs in this genre. That would be really, really cool, to do like a jazz and soul set. I've never done that before, so that would be really cool. And I don't know, hopefully writing more and experiencing a little bit of life in between, so that I can have experiences to write about. That would be great too. So we'll see. I'm always kind of thinking. The wheels are always turning, so who knows?
All right, sounds great. We've got people lining up to get the new album that drops today again, and love the title. Where did that come from?
Well, it came from the idea that, I was thinking of like, okay, how can we package all these songs together? What is the theme here? And I realized I do have a lot of heartbreak songs, and I do have a lot of love songs. And it was around Valentine's Day, and I was like, you know what, this would be a great little Valentine's release, and kind of commemorating like all the heartbreak songs I have and all the love songs I have. And the title just sort of came to me. I was like, love or lack thereof. It's great. It rhymes. It encapsulates the theme of this project, and so it just kind of worked.
All right, it works for us as well. Alessia Cara, we congratulate you on 10 years, a brand new 12-track Love or Lack Thereof, right now on Def Jam Recordings. Thanks, fun talking to you this morning.
Thank you so much, likewise.
All right, guys, and we are not too far out from closing out our time here on WCNC Plus. We did update this homicide in Salisbury tonight. There was a arrest, a 26-year-old man in Kannapolis. So we'll have more on this and an update tonight at 11 on WCNC Charlotte. Appreciate your time here on WCNC Plus. We'll see you tonight.